Millions of people will willingly destroy their own savings the exact moment the next recession begins. They will log into their accounts, panic, and sell everything they own. Even though history proves that every single market crash eventually recovers. So why does this habit of financial self-destruction never disappear? Picture a perfectly normal Tuesday morning. You turn on the television while pouring your coffee. The news anchors look absolutely terrified. The banner at the bottom of the screen is flashing bright red. A recession has officially been declared. You open your investment app, the screen loads, and a cold, heavy knot immediately forms in your stomach. Your retirement account is down 30%. The hard-earned money you spent a decade accumulating seems to be vanishing right before your eyes. Your heart rate elevates, your palms sweat. You decide you have to stop the bleeding. You top the screen, hit sell, and move your entire remaining balance into cash. You lock your money away where the market can no longer hurt it. You take a deep breath. You feel safe. You feel like you survived a disaster. But a brilliant, entirely invisible trap has just been executed right in front of you. We are taught from childhood that when the market crashes, wealth is completely destroyed. We picture our money simply vanishing into thin air like smoke leaving a chimney. We hear the media say that billions of dollars were wiped out in a single afternoon. But wealth is not actually destroyed in a crash. It simply changes hands. Most people disagree about this. If you read financial forums, people will fiercely argue that the stock market is just a rigged casino designed to steal from the working class. Some economists argue the opposite. They claim that a recession is the most efficient wealth-building machine ever created, only for those who understand human psychology. Here is where people are split. Is an economic collapse a financial tragedy, or is it a carefully orchestrated wealth transfer? People don't make bad money decisions. They respond to the environment around them. And your environment during a recession is a masterpiece of psychological warfare. The financial media feeds entirely on your panic. Fear keeps you glued to the screen, which artificially boosts their advertising revenue. They create an atmosphere of absolute catastrophe, and your brain responds exactly how it was biologically wired to respond to a predator. You freeze, you flee to safety, you hoard cash. But the real reason this wealth transfer happens so smoothly is much stranger. It requires you to fundamentally misunderstand what a price tag actually means. The biggest financial advantage isn't intelligence, it's which game you're playing. The middle class is playing a game of emotional preservation. They want the number on the screen to feel safe today. They want to sleep soundly tonight. But the ultra-wealthy play a completely different game. They play a game of acquisition. While the working class is selling their financial future out of pure fear, the elite are treating the economic collapse like a generational clearance sale. They do not view a market crash as a tragedy. They view it as a highly predictable acquisition phase. Instead of hoarding depreciating paper currency, the rich aggressively deploy their dry powder into three very specific asset classes. First, they target cash-flowing real estate that has been abandoned by over-leveraged amateurs. When everyday investors panic and default on their mortgages, the elite scoop up physical land, apartment buildings, and commercial spaces for pennies on the dollar. They secure the physical ground society stands on. Next, they buy recession-proof essential businesses. They pour capital into commodities, energy production, and public utilities. They know that even in a severe economic depression, human beings still need to turn on the lights, heat their homes, and buy groceries. They purchase the systems society literally cannot live without. Finally, they acquire heavily discounted blue-chip equities. They look at the exact same stock market that terrified the middle class, but they do not see a burning building. They see the greatest, most profitable companies on earth suddenly trading at a massive discount. They understand that buying during a period of maximum public pessimism is the only mathematical way to secure assets at a low enough basis to guarantee generational wealth. Let's slowly reveal the invisible forces holding this entire machine together. The incentives of the banking system require retail investors to sell. The massive institutions need your highly discounted shares to generate their own record-breaking profits during the recovery. The structures of modern trading applications make it incredibly frictionless to liquidate your entire life savings with a single emotional tap on a glowing screen. The social pressures of seeing your friends, family, and coworkers panic sell convince you that you must do the exact same thing to survive. Lastly, the probabilities dictate a ruthless, undeniable truth. For a billionaire to buy a high-quality asset at a massive discount, someone else has to be terrified enough to sell it to them at a massive loss. Fast forward 2 years. The panic has subsided. The news anchors are smiling again. The economy has stabilized. You look at the broader market. It has completely recovered and reached new all-time highs. But you are still sitting safely in cash. Your money was quietly eroded by inflation. You locked in your losses and gave up your ownership stake entirely. Then you experience a stomach-dropping moment of clarity. You realize the billionaire who bought those exact shares for pennies on the dollar just doubled their net worth. By seeking absolute safety, you unknowingly financed the elite's early retirement. Wealth is often less about effort and more about position. If you position your wealth based on the daily news cycle, your effort will constantly be drained by your own biological fear. You will be paralyzed by every dropping red arrow. But if you position yourself with emotional discipline, the exact same panic pushes you effortlessly forward. The people who lose everything during a recession did not fail the system. They followed the system perfectly. They did exactly what the economy required them to do to facilitate the transfer of wealth. They handed over the keys to their financial future because the environment convinced them the house was burning down. A recession is simply a mirror. It reflects exactly how you view money. The clearance sale is coming. The only question is who you will be buying from.